day 5 on this aggressive cut, and it's still cold, windy, chilly. So that means no hiking. I really want to go hiking. So I know it's going to start really warming up next week. Plus getting like the 70s and 80s and less windy. So we'll probably be going on some hikes next week. I won't be weighing myself until Sunday morning, fasted, all that stuff, before I have any drinks, electrolytes. But feeling good, just because. So even when you're in a aggressive cut like this, your weight's going to fluctuate. So if you were to weigh yourself every single freaking day, one day you might be 2 pounds heavier, next day 3 pounds lighter, the next day a pound heavier, the next day a pound lighter. It just like, it fluctuates. And a lot goes into it of like, did you move around more that day? Did you have a little bit more carbs that day? Did you have more water intake that day? There's so much that goes into it. Is your body holding on to a little bit more stuff in your stomach that day and you haven't cleaned fully out? It's just so much goes into it, man. So I really empathize, do it on a weekly basis, not an everyday thing. And you guys got to remember, the scale does not mean progress, right? For example, we've been hovering between 228 and 245 for 70 days, or for 80 days. If you were to count day 1 of the cut, right? And with these aggressive cuts, this would be day 85 in just the regular cut, right? So we've been fluctuating like crazy between those. But if you go back and you watch my first video, you see the crazy changes. And they're small changes, but they're crazy changes. You see some more muscle definition. You actually see maybe some muscle increase in my traps in some certain areas. And then you do see the fat loss. So we were in like a recomp phase. So recomping, you can do it. It's very hard, but you got to execute it pretty correctly. So you want to hit every body group twice a week. So, a 4-day rotation. So the meaning, like, if you hit legs on day 1, then day 4 is going to be legs again. And so it's like, on top of that, you have to be in a slight deficit and then some days a slight surplus. And it's like, some people go, well, that's maintenance. Kind of, but kind of not. When you kind of look at everything, you'll see the fat loss and you'll see a little bit of muscle gain. It's going to be slight. It's not going to be very much, but you can see those changes. And that is what a recomp is. A recomp is you'll gain some muscle and you'll lose some fat and everything's just looking better. And so if you go back and you look, you can see it. Like, I even have more loose skin at the bottom of my belly than I did before. So I know I'm losing freaking fat, man. So I know it. So I haven't jumped on the scale here at the gym where it does a full body scan, because the last time I did that, we went down 1% in body fat and we actually gained a couple. It said, because before I did it, I was 22% body fat, 196 body mass, and then the last time I did it, it said 200 body mass and 20% body fat. But I don't know how accurate those things are, so like, we got to take that with a grain of salt as well. But where I was just getting to, man, is just don't necessarily focus on the scale as progress, right? How are your clothes fitting? For example, my clothes are getting way more looser. They're getting more tighter in the upper body area, though, around the shoulders, around the traps, around the arms. And when I went into a crazy deficit before and I went from down to 228 a while back, if I looked at myself then and I look at myself now, I had less muscle then. And I think I was losing a lot of muscle in that crazy deficit that I did and that jump was from I think that was from 250, 260 to 228. And I lost some muscle and I didn't, and so when I look at that, I did lose a lot of fat, but when I look at those photos, when I did that to what I look like now, I look less fat and I look like I have more muscle. So we're achieving the goal, and you guys can go see it. Too bad I didn't record that big of that during that time, because if I recorded during that time, you guys would have been like, oh my gosh, like holy cow, what a change. But you can kind of see what I looked like before I started that, though. If you go back way of like next year or last year, sorry, videos, you can kind of see that huge change. So it's going well. So today is going to be back day, so we're going to go in there and get our back blown out. I think today I'm going to start with some type of pull down. That sounds good. Do pull downs and then kind of go from there. I don't really like to make too much of a crazy plan because equipment's being used. A lot of people are in the gym, so I like to kind of just go with the flow, then kind of get a feel of what I feel like is working, and then I go with that. But anyways, so enough talking. This pre-workout starting to kick in. I took it about 20 minutes ago. I like to take it about 30 minutes before I start my sets. So, and because then I really start feeling kicking in, and then it stays kicked in for most of my workout. Maybe a little bit of cardio afterwards. We'll see. I do need to start upping the cardio again, but we'll see. We'll see on the cardio. So I just got a lot of things to do, and I rather prioritize lifting over cardio right now. I can always come back and do cardio later, right? So I don't know if I'm gonna do it right after the gym. We'll see. I might save cardio until later tonight. But let's get in there and start on this back day. All right, we're gonna start with 50 and see how we feel there. Okay, we're gonna try how 80 feel. For some reason, 50 felt like way too light. That felt heavy. Kind of cheated on that. Wonder to see if you guys can see how I was cheating. Okay, let's move on to next. Dude, I tried to do deadlifts. I couldn't do them, hardly. So I'm not going to show you guys that. It's kind of embarrassing. But I know we're in such a crazy deficit, so I do need to take back the weight a little bit. I need to be safer about it so I don't hurt myself. Because when you're in such a deficit, your risk of injury goes up. So you do need to take the weight back a little bit. Then I gotta work out traps after this. I'm not gonna show traps. I gotta do some type of row and then call it. and then I gotta work on traps, but I don't think I'm gonna do any cardio today. Well, I mean, after working out, I might do cardio later. Honestly, cardio would be the best time to do it now. In the mornings fasted or after your lift is the best time for cardio. Let's hit this. Alright, let's go do some type of row, then traps. Gotta put the seat a little bit lower. I don't know why. That feels really heavy, actually. Let's just go to 70. Why does that feel so heavy? My back is actually cooked. So I'm just gonna end it here. But I'm gonna do traps and then you guys, well, I guess I'll show you guys a little bit of traps maybe. We'll see. All right, let's do a quick little look. Oh man, I am sore. So I got traps done. We're gonna do cardio after this. Oh man. All right. So this is where you can see some of the fat loss right here. I pointed it out like in here, here, around here. My traps are looking freaking huge right now. So you can see my traps. They look huge. This is how the back's looking. Of course, you can't see too much because like I still have a lot of fat back there. So a lot of my fat loss has got to come back here and around in here. Here, belly, kind of midsection-ish. But looking good, feeling good. Gonna go look, so you can tell right here, you see like you can tell I'm having a little loose skin around the belly button. More loose skin in here. So I mean, it's coming along. It's been a slow journey, but it's coming along. You can see right in here, the weight loss on the side. In here, that's where I'm seeing all the fat loss, right? Might have some loose skin here, I'm thinking. Which makes sense, right? We lost over 100, we're gonna be losing over 100 pounds. So, but yeah, looking good so far. Just gotta keep going and see how much loose skin we have at the end of it. Oh well, it's normal. But oh my gosh, my traps. Look at that trap, it's just like, see my traps have gotten way bigger than that. So you can tell my traps have gotten way bigger. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but all right guys, I'm gonna knock out some cardio and I'll catch up with you guys later. Okay, so it's towards the end of day 5, I believe. Day 5? I think it's day 5. So, feeling good, man, my muscles feeling freaky. I don't know, I'm feeling like really freaky right now with my muscles and let me see. Just, I don't know, man. Pretty freaking crazy. But I am feeling like, feeling more down. Ever since like I left the gym today, I think a lot of it has to do with like the stuff that's going on with my nephew, but then like now the PTSD is kind of kicking in and I'm getting like PTSD response. And today was like a big struggle of just trying to constantly fight off those PTSD visions that I get. And they can be of a lot of different situations that I've been involved in. So like past 4 or 5 years have been just really freaking crazy, man. Like saw a lot of horrible things in the hospital and saw a lot of horrible things when I worked in downtown Denver, and I don't know, it's like it never hit me until I got hurt at work. And then having to grieve all over again. So grieving the loss of my nephew, then that's kicking in, and then it's kicking in memories of my two friends who passed away, and then the grief of a 16-year marriage that came to an end, and I thought I married someone that was like my forever, and they weren't the person that I thought they were, and it felt like that whole time was just a whole freaking lie, and it's like, gosh, man, it's like it just all kind of hit me at once today after the gym. And then the PTSD responses were just like hitting extra hard, and I was just having a really hard time fighting them off. So I'm really exhausted, not from physically doing stuff, but just like mentally. So I did do a little bit more cardio, but today's cardio total is like 45 minutes. Not much. I do need to up the cardio more. Just, I'm not even getting 10,000 steps in. So the aggressive cut is not even making that big a difference because I'm not getting in the 10,000 steps. I'm not getting in a lot of walking, a lot of movement. Like I am lifting, but it's like I'm not getting the other stuff in that I need to do. So right now, the aggressive cut's not going to make that major of difference because it's going to act like I'm in a slight calorie deficit when you're not doing anything. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll weigh ourselves on Sunday and see where we're at. But I do need to up the cardio just at least to get my 10,000 to 15,000 steps in. And when I'm talking about cardio, guys, I'm talking about just walking, right? I'm just talking about just going on a treadmill, walking at an incline, like incline 3 or incline 6% at like a 2 speed, right? Or just walking around outside. And I think we'll start feeling better. I'll start feeling better when I go on these hikes. So it's supposed to start getting nicer coming up. Let me see here. I feel really bloated too. I don't know why. So tomorrow's supposed to be high of 56, then Saturday 61, Sunday 60. So those are some nicer weather days, but I'd rather wait for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all going to be in the high 60s into the 70s because then it'll be a little bit nicer in the mountains. So we'll wait for those days to go on a hike, and then, ooh, nice. Friday is going to be 69, a high of 69. I like that number. But a lot of wind. A lot of these days are going to be windy, so that's 2. I'm trying to avoid the wind, but so we'll do some hikes, and I think that'll help me feel better. And honestly, I do really need to up the cardio, but my ankle too was irritated today. Same with my calf. I didn't record this part of the lift, but I was trying to get up 405 on deadlifts, and I couldn't get them up. And then when I was doing the 145s for my traps, my right leg kind of gave out, and I had to just let the 145 on that side go. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know, man. I think I just need to get some sleep and just reset tomorrow. The calories. I almost forgot. So the calories were pretty much right on, except for the protein was a little bit low, but that's okay. So 1,891 for 202 grams of protein, 175 grams of carbs, 36 grams of fat. So I just need to get that fat lower and the carbs a little bit lower and up the protein for tomorrow. I just kind of went a little bit more carby today. I really shouldn't have, but I just was like, I'm just like kind of getting sick of protein. So I was just like, I'm gonna have instead of having 500, because I was gonna have 500 grams of chicken breast for dinner, and I was like, yeah, let's not do that. Let's just have like 300 grams of chicken and then have some French fries. So I had some French fries, frozen French fries with it. Probably should have went just with the straight 500 grams of chicken breast, but I really wasn't feeling it. So, and I don't want to make myself suffer to the point where I'm just going to go crazy and binge eat tons of food because I limited myself too crazy. You know what I mean? I'm going to still sometimes make those decisions where it's like, okay, if I'm craving more today, like sugary stuff, I'm going to go ahead and have that sugary stuff, bring the protein down a little bit, and make sure to try to keep that fat lower. Have the sugary stuff so then I don't go freaking crazy, right? Then the next day get back to my protein goal. That's what I'm trying to do. I think I'll find a good balance, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I don't know. I'm feeling better. Um, yeah, I don't know. Meaning I'm feeling like lighter and just like my muscles are feeling. I don't know. They're just feeling bigger. I can't really explain it. It's kind of weird. I don't know. They should be feeling smaller, but they feel bigger. The way I'm looking looks good. So should be happy about that. But I think everything else is just taking a toll on me mentally. So I'm gonna get some sleep, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for day 6. We'll start doing some hiking, and the video editing will start going back to normal, where it's like some quick edits and some music and all that stuff. We'll get back to that kind of stuff. Just right now, there's so much going on that I'm trying to slowly get back to that. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get some sleep. Have a good night.